Sunshine Valley Farm family, welcome back to another episode of The Farm. If you're new here, you are most welcome. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and also turn your notification bells not to miss out on any episodes of The Farm. And of course, to all our returning subscribers, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, we are back at the farm. It's a beautiful day. The sun is out. It's an amazing morning today, and I'm really super excited to be here in this section. I know this is a different kind of section. We have the cows at the farm. As you well know, Value Farm is a mixed farm, and we have animals here. We have the goats, we have the pigs, we have the sheep, we have poultry, then we also have the cattle. So I'm really super excited at least to, share with you guys our journey as well in cattle farming, what we are starting with and what we intend to do with our cows right here. I also have my co-director on standby who is going to say hello to you guys and also say something to you. You're most welcome.
Hello everybody, my name is co-director Grafton, co-founder of Value Farm. I gotta tell you guys, it is hot.
It is so hot this morning.
It's so hot. But no, I'm very, very happy to be here. Just wanted to actually just touch a few points today because I know in the beginning, maybe like a year ago, we were in the bush in the front of the farm.
Yeah.
And we were looking to purchase our first cow.
True.
And now the journey has taken an interesting turn. I have to be honest, initially I was never really a cow person.
That is true.
I just wanted to do my pigs, my goats, my ducks,
and
sheep, obviously. But somewhere along the way, the cows have definitely grown on me. I think I got bitten by the love bug for cows.
I think it is from when we went to Kenya. That's when, when you saw all those cows and all that. I think that is where some interest came in from.
No,
what do you think?
I think it started to really tag me when I started noticing the interaction between the mother cow and the calf. How caring and how much intelligence that they have, which really surprised me because, I never really, I haven't really spent too much time around cattle prior to that time. And then the more I looked into it, the more I realized like, wow, this is something that I might want to actually look into, right?
True.
But aside from that, guys, we have a mixed farm. And the only way you can have a mixed farm, you actually have to have the people that can execute on your plans, right? Now, along the way, we've taken our lumps, believe me.
Yeah.
Because we've had people here that we brought on board, that we wanted to be managers. That's actually something really, it's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
But I think it's one that we need to really talk about. Because when you have a farm, when you're fortunate enough to start hiring staff,
people around here,
that's something you have to be very cognizant of because for whatever the reason, whenever you name someone your overall manager, something happens overnight. You can take the most humblest person, the person with the softest voice, somebody that would never, you can't even imagine even raising their voice as a crazy dog or and even getting into a verbal altercation with anyone. But the moment they name the manager, it's as if, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde just appears in that person. And what do we mean by that, right? As a manager at the farm, if you're not careful, your farm manager will start to believe that your farm is their farm.
Yeah.
And that sounds good, right? You want somebody to take ownership of responsibility, but not ownership of your farm. Because sometimes these are the same people that's gonna go around town. They're gonna be in the village. Remember, you don't live at the farm 24/7. These people are here more than you are most of the time. We do our best to spend time here. Obviously, we have our homes that we're actually building on the premises as well. But those are still under construction. But the managers and the people that work here, they're here 24/7. Right? Of course, we rotate days off, but for the most part, these folks are here. Some of the time, the managers that you will encounter will start going around town as if they're your boss.
Yeah, true.
As if they're the ones that made the investment. Oh, they'll start calling you the investor, but they're really, this is their farm. This is they're the one in charge. They're the one running everything. And so that's one thing you have to be aware of.
About managers being here, of course, you don't have to give them all the responsibilities. Of course, you have to be on point with each and everything at the farm, especially like the head count of the animals at the farm. You must make sure that you also know as a person, as the owner of the farm, because most times they take it for granted. Most people do not even give you accountability in case of maybe losses or even when animals disappear from the farm. So you need to be very, very careful with that. Take accountability, check on the records as well. I know the records must be at the farm, but as the owner, if you don't stay at the farm, you should always be with the records on your phone. You can have your backup as well at home, wherever you are, so that at least you're at par with all the numbers that you have at the farm. So you have to really make sure you know your numbers. Do not really give all the responsibility to the people who are on ground. That's what I should really give you as a piece of advice. And also do the head counts yourself as well, because these numbers are there, put on book, but you need to come as well, do the head counts yourself and make sure that you have the right numbers. This is just a piece of advice for starting farmers or even people who are already into business, who are already into farming. You need to take these points really very, very key.
So that advice is actually paramount, because let me just share this with you guys. Now, as a diasporan on the ground, guys, I have experienced something in this country that I never encountered in any other places I've been. I mean, I've had the pleasure of living, abroad, Europe, Australia. I've been around for some time. And the workplace is very different here, because there's such a thing as sabotage, okay? There's such thing here that we encounter, like you have people that work for you that they're taking the money, but they don't want to see you succeed, because envy, jealousy is very real. These people look at you like because you're the owner, like your pockets run endless with cash. So they just waste your resources. They don't think about ways to save money. They don't use what you bring to the farm that's supposed to be used, judiciously at all. They just waste it all, and then they wait till everything is completely out and just spring those expenses on you. Unless you're prepared and ready to deal with those challenges, I can see why a lot of people run into that and just throw up their hands and just decide that they can't manage with the situation and walk away from the project altogether. The other thing I want you guys to be aware of, speaking of sabotage, sometimes the person that will sabotage you the most is your manager, especially if you as the owner, if you don't really know what's happening at your farm. That's why we always tell you guys, spend the money, take your time, go to seminars, pay for consultation. You guys may think like $100 is a lot of money to pay for somebody to help you gain knowledge, but in the long run, that $100 you pay for consultation, or $60, whatever price that consultant might be charging, you might think that's a lot of money, but believe me, it's nothing compared to you losing tens of thousands of dollars because you were just unaware. Because when it comes to your animal counts, one of the ways your managers at your farm can steal from you, unless you actually do your actual counting for yourself. If you trust your manager enough to just do all the counting for you, then that's easier for you to get robbed blind, because what they'll do, they'll sell your animals, right? And they'll wait for your animal. Let's take goats for example, right? Let's say you have like 50 goats. At this point, the numbers are multiplying. You're happy. But then what some of these managers will do, okay? Because somebody actually attempted to do this here. That's why I'm sharing this stuff with you guys, okay? They'll wait for your animals to be born. They'll report that if your female goat had 2 kids, they'll tell you like you had 1, and yet they'll sell one of your mature goats, right? And then just pretend like, oh, your goat that produced 2 really produced 1. And yet these are your own goats that they're using your own multiplication as a way to shield them stealing from you. So unless you are sharp and you check yourself, there's no way you're going to be able to find that out if you're just taking everything your manager's saying as gospel. Because sometimes these people will keep 2 sets of books, right? They'll report the numbers that they know you believe to be the accurate number. But in reality, they're stealing from you and reporting phantom animals at your farm. And then when it's time for them to quit, these are the people that just disappear in the middle of the night. They don't want to come back. They don't want to turn the farm over to
That
you
is so true.
the proper way. So you have to be very, very careful about it. And then another thing I'm very passionate about with this, and this is not the first time we talked about this, guys. When it comes to hiring not just managers, department leaders, people that you are entrusting your animals with. Let me just say this, I'm a naturally trusting person because where I come from, you know, we do business differently, right? But over here, you cannot trust anybody. People will come present themselves as vets. People will come with documentation. They'll come with references. And in reality, those references are fake. They stage, right? They'll come with actual documentation as if they went to school to become vets, right? Then they get to your farm, guess what? They're killing your animals, learning on the job, pretending to know what they're talking about, and yet they're experimenting on your animals. You understand? So you have to be careful before you hire somebody. You make sure before you give anybody a year contract that you put them on probation 60 to 90 days minimum. And during that time, you have to observe that person demonstrate what it is that they claim that they know how to do. You have to be able to quiz that person. Don't let them go on the internet to research anything. You know, you hit them with questions like, hey, if a goat have liver flux, like how do we deal with it? You know, what are the best options to deworm both goats, sheep, even the cows, right? And if they can't just pull those answers off the top of their head, or you may just describe a symptom. Right? And if they can't diagnose that off the top of their head, then you know that person is lying to you. You make sure you escort that individual off your farm and never, ever, ever allow them back on your property, because if you let them once slip in, that's the beginning of your troubles there.
That is so true. And also, like, even the vets that we invite to our farms, those are some of the people that are going to fail you as well, especially for beginners. Because when someone maybe recommends to you a vet, maybe to come and do the insemination for your cows, maybe to do insemination at the farm, or maybe castration, whatever you want to do at the farm, treatment, all that. There's so many fake vets out there.
100% agree.
You need to really be very, very careful with these vets who come on your ground, because some of them come with even fake semen to inject into your animals. And these are going to really destroy your genetics at the farm. If you're to invite someone to inseminate maybe the pigs and you wanted maybe a Duroc or whatever, you want high genetics, they go to fake labs, they go and get even fake water, and they tell you, okay, if it doesn't take this time round, we shall do it next time. Some of them are just literally taking money from you. Remember, for every session that they come for, you have to pay money for the lab and for their time. So sometimes they'll be like, okay, if it doesn't take this time, next time you'll pay. So you keep paying them the money. Sometimes they just bring for you just water instead of the semen to inseminate to the animals. So you need to be very careful with that. And
these people, honestly, they should be more accountability by the authorities, you know, by the DVOs in the district. Because if you have vets out here providing fake insemination, these poor farmers are already having a hard time financially to begin with. Now, these people have to also contend with fake, not only fake insemination when they actually pay for that service, but a lot of these vets come to your farm, especially if they bring their own medication. Most of that stuff has been diluted, it's fake, and yet they want to charge you triple the price of that medication. So what we would urge you guys, get to know a real vet. Okay, get to know somebody that other successful farms around actually use. Get a few recommendations from people that you respect. And then after that, you actually try to meet with that person. You talk to that person, and then you do your due diligence on these vets. Don't just take their word for it, because a lot of the time these vets will show up to your farm. Somebody could just be trained to do AI, but the moment they get to your farm, they claim to be a vet.
And then they're
here charging you an arm and a leg just for visiting your farm, and they don't know anything about what's happening with the animals, and all they want from you is money. You know, and again, I want to make sure I put this disclaimer out there. Not all vets work in that fashion. We have wonderful vets in Uganda as well. They are ethical people, like in any other profession. But this is a sector here in this country where a lot of pretenders exist.
That is true.
Some of these guys just worked at farms and they know how to do basic vaccination, and they'll start calling themselves vets. And then these are the same people that will come to your property and destroy your flock.
Yeah.
Okay? And then, you know, all they want is like, oh, you have to buy this medication. Oh, let's try that medication.
Let's try this. Let's do this.
And then all the while, they keep charging you.
They keep charging all the money. For example, like if in case you have like debts and maybe you have to do postmortem, we've experienced this whereby you do the postmortem and the person asks you for the money, takes to just a
free lab.
Yeah, a free lab, but they want more money. Maybe a government lab and they want more money. And whenever the report comes, the report is not even...
It's not even, but the reports are accurate. But what happens is you actually find out the lab that they charge you like $150 for, the postmortem, was actually free.
That is a free
for
service.
them to actually get that service.
Yeah.
So that's why we keep drilling this into you guys. You have to get to know what's available in your district, what support your local government have for you as a farmer, whether they have educational programs. A lot of these areas, districts actually have scholarships that you can take advantage of if you want training. But the most important thing, you cannot just take whatever a vet tell you as the gospel.
Yeah.
You have to get a second opinion, a third opinion sometimes, because you might have somebody just show up at your farm because they too have their own agro-vet shop and they just want to charge you an arm and a leg just to provide services to you that they know you don't even need, but they know you don't know any different.
You don't know anything.
So then they're going to just take advantage of you, and that's a lot of new farmers.
That is so true. And even for vets, really, you need to report these people to the authorities as well, because this is going to spoil your reputation as veterinary doctors in the country. This is going to spoil your professions as well, because people are not going to trust you. People are going to be, you know, treating animals by themselves. You guys are going to lose jobs on market, you know, going to these farms that you studied for. So you need to also report these guys to authorities and also farmers. In case you find that the person is not really working so well, there are platforms on social media. You can't report that person because this is going to really spoil.
Let me give you guys like a perfect example of a super greedy vet that I don't want to ever use ever again.
Yeah.
This guy came to our farm. We actually had some pigs here that needed to be castrated. But the pigs were teetering on the part where they were almost getting too old to be castrated.
Yeah.
This thief came onto the farm and swore up and down that, oh no, they still can get castrated, they'll recover, it may take like a couple of days extra, but everything's gonna be okay. Let me just say this, that batch of pigs that actually got castrated, that was a lost batch.
Yeah.
Because they never recovered, and I'm sure the pain that they felt was horrible.
It was too much.
I really felt so terrible about making that mistake, and that's the reason actually we wanted to bring this to you guys, so that you know, when it comes to this sector here, you have to learn to become a master of all trade. Granted, you're not gonna be proficient or master every single discipline, but you have to do your best to try to at least learn the basics.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
So.
Wow, that has been amazing. I know what you started this as the cow video and all that, but you know, these are just updates that we wanted to bring for you guys.
Also, cows, I want to make sure we do a brief revision on that, right?
Yeah.
So, as we stated earlier in the video, we started out with 1 cow. Now we're up to a humble 18.
18 of them.
And we hope to, by the middle of 2023, to have at least maybe like 50 to 60.
Exactly.
And hopefully bring in 2024 with at least 100. And there's a reason we're doing this, is because we actually have the butcher shops that are going to be opening in Kampala. And we did not want to be the kind of company to offer you guys quality meat that did not
come
grow
from
the farm. Okay, we wanted to actually be able to sell you. If you order beef from VF, you better believe that beef came from our farm.
Exactly.
Raised, grazed, you know, in the most wholesome and organic way that we know how, right?
Yeah,
and so that's why we're actually ramping up those numbers. That's the same reason we're getting more sheep. That's the same reason we want to continue to grow the numbers for goats. Because many of you call and you want to buy goats now. You want to buy, you know, even our pigs right away. But we've been telling you guys to wait. Wait
a little bit.
That's the reason, because we want to be able to actually process from the farm and bring straight to your doorstep, or at least a collection point that you can actually come to Kampala. You don't have to come all the way to the village to get fresh, incredible quality meats here.
Yeah, I'm really so happy. Like everyone says, every journey starts with one step. So we started with 1 cow, and here we are. I'm really happy.
A year
like
later.
a year later, we have 18. These are our humble beginnings.
Yeah.
And of course, with time, we shall give you guys the progress, how the numbers are increasing, and also give you a little updates. And you know, the way we do with the goats, with the pigs, we shall definitely also be doing what videos.
And we'll also bring you guys updates when we actually start the actual construction.
Exactly.
The outbill for the butcher shop as well.
All that. So we want to share all this with you guys because we want to motivate you guys, people who are really still doubting themselves. And I'm really super excited about people who have left their comments in our videos saying they started their farms, they watched the video and pigs, they started with the pigs, like 1 pig, 1 sow, 1 boa, and they're now happy with the progress. They had challenges, but you know, they're being encouraged whenever they see us, you know, presenting, whenever we are sharing whatever we have at Value Farm, they feel more motivated as well. I'm really so happy. So for more of you out there who really have experiences, who have started your farms, leave your comments down below so that we can also, you know, share the happiness with the rest of the people. That is also encouraging to other people who are, you know, trying to get into the boat of farming. So it is encouraging, by the way, when people read those comments. So leave your comments down below if you've started a farm.
I just want to make sure that you guys are aware. We come to you guys with the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
We did not want to make this a somber video, but we wanted to give you the hard truth.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that you raise your level of awareness. Because if we experience something negative and we don't share it with you, then we're cheating not just ourselves, but the next generations out there.
True.
Because the only way we're going to progress in this sector is if each of us teach the next generation.
True.
So we tell you this not to scare you off,
Nope.
but to make sure that you are aware, that you have your antennas up, that you do not fall for what they call back home the okie doke, right?
Okay.
If somebody comes to you, they want to offer their services at half the price, then you know that comes with a real hefty price tag at the end. You know, sometimes you have to spend money for quality, and that quality comes with you educating yourself.
True.
The free videos here is the first start, but make sure you go to whatever expo you can. Make sure you get as much consultation as you can, because there's a lot of selfish farmers out there too. You know, and you guys need to do better. You should be able to teach the next generation openly, right? You embrace that next young man or woman who's coming up, because look how we're helping you with this information, right? So the next time in the future, somebody come to you, somebody reach out to your farm, whether you're doing, you know, more livestock management or you're doing more, you know, crops, you should be open and be willing to actually share and mentor the next generation of farmers, because the continent needs it, the world needs it.
Wow, thank you so much for those, for the words of wisdom. And at least I know most of you have really liked this video. Please leave your comments down below if this video has been very helpful. If you've learned 1 or 2 things, if you have an idea to share your experience as well, leave your comments down below. Would love to really also read from you guys and also share ideas with you guys as well in the comments down below. But really appreciate you guys so much. If you haven't already, please go check out our social media platforms. Instagram is Value Farm UG. Facebook, Value Farm, TikTok, Value Farm. Go see behind the scenes and what we are doing at Value Farm. You know, there's short clips there that we don't usually put in the videos here on daily basis, of course. So we definitely want you to go also and check us out and also follow us that side. And please do not forget to tell a friend, share the knowledge, because sharing is caring. Please subscribe. Till next time. Bye.